All right, good evening. Welcome to River Lake Stars versus Rogers, 12UA. Prosser, Barton, Akerson out there for the Stars. Wagner and Dolly behind them. Prosser wins the drawback to Wagner. She'll play it forward to Akerson. We'll chip it into the zone. She steps in front of that pass and tries to center it. Puck down on the end wall. Prosser steps out with it. Out to the point to Dolly. Dolly gets it back down off of Prosser sticking into the corner. Puck behind the net. Into the far corner. Up the point for Wagner. She'll fire a shot, turned away by the goalie into the corner. Centering attempt. Bouncing around, shot off the post by Akerson. Puck comes to the near side boards. And Prosser steals that one, brings it out to the neutral zone. She'll skate around with it into the far side of the zone. Takes a shot and saved by the goalie. Puck comes out to the point. Wagner fires. Shot, saved, and covered by the goalie.
Right by my left ear. Somebody saved it. Help it, King.
Balloon will take the draw for the Stars. Rogers wins it back into the corner. Skates behind the net with it. Pass up the near side boards out into the neutral zone. Willow retreats to grab it. And that'll be icing. Balloon will take the draw for the Stars again. Wins it back. Hepner throws it across the middle. Martinka gets a shot through the crease and into the corner. Played out to the point. Hepner will step in and keep it in. She fires one off the side of the net. Balloon finds it. Circles behind the net. Retreats back. Goes for the wraparound. Jams it into the goalie's legs. And she scores! Balloon with the rebound of her own shot. Scores to put the Stars up 1-0. Prosser will take the draw. She's out there with Garner and Davis. Pulls it back out of the reach of Garner, but Willow will step forward and move it forward. Garner skates with it across center ice and loses it there. Now Prosser will skate onto it and bring it into the zone. She turns, fires, saved by the goalie and held on to. Face off will come to the right side of the Rogers goaltender. Prosser on the draw for the Stars. Puck sits underneath the centers and is pushed to the corner by Rogers. Now played up the wall. Prosser tries to get a shot, doesn't get anything on it. Now it comes back to the wall. Puck along the end wall. Davis puts pressure on. Puck comes out from behind the net. Rogers will skate out with it. Rogers takes it across center ice up the far wall, push it forward into the corner where it's picked up by Emery. She'll skate behind our net. Up the near side, gets it out of the zone, and it's brought in offside. Balloon wins the drawback. Goes all the way past Dolly. She'll go back and get it. Moves it over to Wagner. Now back towards Dolly. Up the wall. Barton gets a stick on it. Forward for Balloon out in the neutral zone. Balloon's got Akerson over there. Pass across. Out of her reach. Centering attempt from the corner from Akerson. Now back to Balloon. Balloon will turn. Fire off of Barton's leg and the goalie will cover. Balloon wins the drawback to the corner. Fired out to Dolly at the blue line. Comes out of the zone. Dolly will throw it in from the neutral zone offside. Face off will come at center ice. And Rogers pulls the puck back and Balloon steps through, pushing it forward. Now Akerson gets to it. Akerson centers out of Barton's reach. Puck along the near side boards. Played up by Rogers. Pass for the middle. Wagner gets on it. She moves the puck out of the zone to the near side boards. Moved forward by Barton. And now comes back into our zone. Emery Prosser will get back on it. Skating up the far side. She'll turn and dump it. Rogers catches that pass. Step across center ice and throw it in. Puck to the far side corner. Now Emery Prosser finds it. Now Hepner back onto it. Moves the puck forward, out of Hagelin's reach, but it comes outside of the zone. Rogers retreats and regroups. And puck into the zone, throw it in. Wagner will catch that pass, throw it up off the boards. Rogers throws the puck down, picked up by Hepner, and now over to Wagner. Wagner uses the boards, chip it out of the zone, just out of Hagelin's reach again. And Hagelin putting pressure on. And Martinka steps in to put more pressure on. Puck played over to the far corner by Rogers. Try to get it out of the zone, off of Wagner's skate and out. And Hepner steps in front of that pass. She'll move that puck forward, and everybody's running into each other out there. Puck chipped off the boards. Davis gets that one all the way down into the Rogers end. Puck in the far corner, up the wall. Out to Prosser at the point. She'll throw it in just wide of the net. Puck played out to the point, off of Hepner and out of the zone. Puck brought into the zone offsides by Rogers. 9:58 remaining in the first period. Balloon on the draw, pulls it over to Davis. Davis plays it back to Hepner. We'll throw it out into the neutral zone. Bouncing around in the feet, now Balloon with it. Pressured by Rogers, and they bring it into the zone. Sneaks free. Willis skates over to it. The pass is deflected. Now it's bouncing around under everybody. Puck along the far wall. Puck out to the point. Shot. Peterson saves. Bobbles out a rebound, puts it into the corner. Backhand attempt is wide of the net by Rogers. Picked up by Hepner. She'll skate it forward, pass it to Davis. Davis uses the boards, chips it down. Icing is waved off, saying that the Rogers girl could have gotten to that. Puck comes out to the point where it's held in by Dolly. She'll throw it back behind the net. Akerson with it. Out to Dolly. Dolly fires a shot on the goalie's stick, and she'll cover it. You're welcome, Val. All right, face-off come to the right side of that Rogers goaltender. Prosser on the draw, sits underneath a bunch of feet. Macy comes away with it, centers it to Akerson. Her shot deflects off a stick, bouncing around. Emery hammers at it, the goalie gets it covered. Prosser on the draw. Puck pushed over to the near side boards. Shot by Dolly is intercepted on its way to the net. Wagner steps in, keeps that puck low, and now gets back in front of it. Now Barton will throw it into the corner. Puck along the far side boards, pinned up there by Prosser. Now it comes to the end wall behind the net. And reverse back into the corner. Rogers using the boards to chip it out of the zone. Dolly's going to have to race back to get to it. Dolly gets there. Has that puck taken from her. Backhand attempt off of Peterson. She saves it. Comes out to the circle. Puck comes out to the point. Stars have a delayed penalty. Shot wide of the net. that one's played by Prosser, and she's going to go for a cross check. And the Stars will go on the penalty kill for the first time tonight. All right, face-off coming to the right side of Peterson. Barton's going to take the draw. Clock operator is working on getting that up there. There we go. Now that penalty's up on the board. Face-off pulled back into the corner by Barton. Rogers will step over to it. Comes off of Akerson's skate, and Barton will skate out with it. Barton up the far side. She gets run into the boards. Now the puck comes out to the neutral zone. Will is going to step in and throw it in. Puck played along the near side boards. Hepner will get back to it. Hepner behind the net. Backhand pass up to the point for Rogers. She'll misplay it. And Barton's pulled down. Puck played to the near side. Rogers will step in with it. Akerson backhands it out to the point where Rogers will keep it in. Hepner gets it back in the corner. Rogers stepping out of the corner with it, but now Hepner gets it back, and she'll ring it up the boards right to their point. Puck comes across the middle. Macy's going to get to it. And she's hooked and held, and they're going to call that. And we'll go to 4-on-4 hockey for 23 seconds. The face-off will come down into the Rogers zone. Face-off taken by Balloon, pulled into the corner, moves it out to the point for Wagner. Wagner shot, deflects, and a pass goes through the Rogers player, and that'll go for icing. That would have been a 1-0 breakaway with no chance for Stars to catch up, but she missed the pass. Balloon pulls that puck to the far side, picked up there by Rogers, out to the point. Willa Prosser throws one in on net, off the goalie's stick, and she'll cover. 6 seconds remaining in the penalty to Emery. A minute 13 remaining on the Rogers penalty. Face-off pulled back by Rogers into the corner. She'll hit the brakes behind the net, move it back up the wall where Willa steps in, keeps it down in the corner. Puck comes around, far side boards. Willa finds it. She'll take a shot off the stick in front. Now Hepner gets it. She'll shoot one off of the goalie's stick and then the post and wide. Rogers will take that in the near side corner, skating up the wall. Pass across, goes through everybody. Willa's going to get back to it. Willa's pass deflects off the stick, moves out to center ice. Rogers brings it in, dumps it into the corner. 35 seconds remaining on that penalty to Rogers. The Stars are on a power play right now. Haglund up the near side wall. Pass across, out to the neutral zone, and that's offside. Face-off will come just outside of the Star zone. Face-off won by Rogers. Back to the center ice line. She'll turn, fire it forward along the near side boards. Brought into the zone by Rogers. Fired a shot, but it's deflected in front. Now it's sitting there in the face-off spot. Moved forward by Davis out to the neutral zone. Dumped all the way down. That'll be picked up by Rogers in their own end. Hepner steps in to keep that in. Skates it down to the corner, moves it forward to Davis. Rogers is back to full strength. Davis is centering attempt. It's deflected out. Now Rogers down there guarding the puck. Puck comes to the far side corner. Garner's able to overskate that one. Now the puck will come back down to face off that along the near side wall. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. All the way down. Akerson gets to it. Puck out to the point for Rogers. They'll throw it down to the corner. Hepner's going to get to it. Moves it forward to Davis. Davis uses the wall, puts it out to the point. Puck moved out to the neutral zone by Hepner. Picked up by Rogers. Puck dumped. And Wagner whiffs on that one. Loses the puck along the near side boards. Rogers pulls it out. Backhand attempt. Picked up by Emery Prosser. She'll skate up the far side. With speed, brings it into the zone. Around behind the net. She's pulled down. And Rogers will go for a trip. Power play again for the Stars coming. 3:53 remaining in the first period. Stars with a 1-0 lead. Prosser, Barton, Akerson, Dolly, and Wagner out there for the Stars. Face off, pulled on the near side board. Barton will move it out to Dolly at the point, but Rogers chips it around her. And Wagner comes over and loses that puck. Rogers in on a breakaway. Shot, glove saved by Peterson. Face off, come to the left side of Peterson. Prosser wins that one over to Dolly. Dolly turns, tries to move that forward. She's pressured. Now the puck comes back past her. Out to the point. Shot blocked by Wagner. Another shot, glove saved by Peterson. Stars are on the power play, but Rogers has the only 2 shots of this man advantage so far. Face off, pulled to the far side. Willa Prosser is going to chase it down. Behind our net with it, skating out. Pinned up against the boards and loses the puck. Shot turned away by Peterson into the corner. Hepner will get onto that, moves it forward to Akerson, and banks it off the boards, but out to the point, held in by Rogers. They'll take a shot, turned away by Willa Prosser. Hits the brakes behind the net, looking for a pass to Akerson. Akerson's got it on the far side. Moves it forward to Emery Prosser. She'll circle back through the neutral zone. And across center ice into the Rogers zone. She'll turn and fire a shot high over the net. Hepner steps in, throws a shot off the back of Akerson. Puck comes back, Balloon will grab it as she comes into the zone. And Prosser's going to go for tripping, interference. Skated through that girl and got her stick out underneath her. This is a penalty-filled game so far. All right, face-off will come to the left of Peterson. 4-on-4 action. Face-off won by Balloon. Dolly will skate behind the net with it, up the far side. Looks for Balloon on the near side. Balloon up through center ice into the zone. Tries to cut back middle and runs that girl right into the net. Face-off will come to the right side of the Rogers goalie. Puck moved up the far wall. And Rogers playing it out to the blue line. Cross center ice. They'll dump that, but it hits somebody. Peterson with a blocker save. Throws it to the corner. Balloon with it in the corner, backhands it right out to the point. High floater, wide in it. Rogers will chip it off the end wall, back to the far corner. Puck played up the wall, out to the point. Shot deflects off some people in front, drops underneath one of the Rogers players. Peterson with a leg save, finds that one. Now Balloon comes out with it. Balloon all alone. Shot, she scores! Beats the goalie, high glove side, short-handed. And the Stars take a 2-0 lead with 1:18 remaining in the first period. 15 seconds remaining on the penalty to Willa Prosser. Stars need 2 more on the ice. Puck played up to center ice. Now moved into the zone. Hepner will take it. Throws it far side to Akerson. Puck moved forward across center ice by Rogers. Into the near side of the zone. Run behind the net. Picked up by Hepner. Wagner moves it forward, but behind Barton. Now Barton gets onto it. It's in her feet. She can't quite get it out of the zone. Wagner steps in front of that. Moves it forward. Can't get it out of the zone. Hepner looking for a pass. That deflects. Nobody can get a clean stick on it. Hepner will move it across to Barton. Out of the zone. Cross center ice, and she'll throw it in on net, played by the goalie, and she'll cover, and we'll get a face off. Prosser on the drop, pulls it back to Prosser. Prosser throws a shot, goalie saves. Puck sits in front, and Barton can't get a shot on. Puck's in the corner. Battle for the puck. Emery comes away with it. Shot, shoulder saved by the goalie. Comes back to the corner for Barton. Now Rogers will step away with it. Rogers gets the puck coming out of the zone. 1 second remaining in the period, and that'll do it. End of the first period. Stars leading 2-0, leading shots on goal 13-7. All right, back for second period action. Stars in black, moving from left to right. Rogers in white, moving from right to left. Stars with a 2-0 lead going into the second period, leading in shots on goal 13-7. Face off, pulled back by Prosser. Wagner will have to get back to get it. Hits the brakes behind the net, comes back up this way. Her pass deflects, but gets to Barton. Barton pinned up against the wall, pull that one out, and give it to Rogers. Centering attempt goes through everybody, and Wagner's gonna go. Interference. Interference to call. Wagner knocked the girl down in front of the net. And the Stars will go shorthanded again. We got Prosser, Akerson, and Hepner out there for the Stars on this PK. Puck in the corner by Willa Prosser. She'll move it up the wall. Trouble with it there. And now Akerson will backhand it out into the neutral zone. Rogers circles behind their own net, moves it up the near side wall. Now they get it out to neutral, where it's picked up by Akerson. She'll throw it all the way back down. 1 minute remaining on the penalty here to Wagner. Puck moved up the near side boards. Passing attempt gets to her. Oh, nearly a collision between Hepner and Prosser in the middle, but they recovered. Emery will grab that puck. She tries to chip it past the Rogers player. Now it comes back to Emery. She'll skate it out of our zone across center ice into the far side of the zone. Cuts back on it. Oh, tries to cut back. Has that puck taken away from her. Now Rogers will skate out with it. Willis steps in front of that one, slows him down. Hepner rides that girl wide to the boards. And takes that puck away and skates with it. Tries to pass it up the far wall. It's picked off there by Rogers. Akerson has trouble with that puck. Rogers will get it out to their point. Throw it in softly, wide of the net. Now they've got it next to the net. Hepner's pulled down with a stick. Peterson makes a save in front. Now Balloon will skate out with it. Cross center ice with speed. She's pulled down. Puck goes to the far side boards. Dolly will be there to throw it in. Picked up by Akerson in the corner. Akerson battling in the corner for it. Now it moves out. Akerson pulls it away. Puck comes out past Dolly out into the neutral zone. Wagner's going to have to hustle to get there. Wagner plays it off the wall out to the neutral zone. Rogers brings it in offsides. 12:30 remaining in the second period. Stars still leading 2-0. Emery Prosser will take the draw for the Stars. Puck sits underneath everybody's feet and comes back to the Rogers defenseman. She'll chip it into the zone. Wagner hustles back to the end wall to find that puck. Rings it around the boards out at Hagelin's reach. Now comes back to Dolly in the corner. Dolly looks for a pass, hits Martinka in the skate. Comes out to the neutral zone. Rogers will retreat. And throw it up the boards into the neutral zone. It's sitting right there under everybody's feet. Now it's thrown into the zone. Pressure put on by Hagelin. Now Rogers brings it to this side near the boards. It comes out to the point. Rolling up the half wall. Now back up to Wagner. She'll throw it down to the corner. Pressure put on. That puck just keeps turning over back and forth to everybody. Rogers will ring it up the boards, but Dolly steps up to keep that one in. She throws it back down to the end wall. And Garner backhands it back behind the net. Balloon will step in to put pressure on. Rogers tries to clear his zone, held in by Hepner. She'll throw a shot. It hits somebody in the back. Now Rogers finally clears it out of the zone. Willa Prosser skates with it, waiting. And that was definitely offsides. That wasn't called. And then they're going to call that icing. Interesting choice, but... All right, face-off will come to the left side of the Rogers goaltender. We got 5-on-5 action here. We got Balloon, Akerson, and Barton out there for Stars. Balloon wins that draw over to Akerson. Pulled back to Prosser. She'll throw a shot. Screened shot, but the goalie got a shoulder on it. Now it's moved out to the neutral zone by Rogers. Picked up by Willa Prosser. She'll look near side. Akerson has that puck moved back away from her. Now it's dumped in. Rogers tries to play it up this near wall. Balloon gets to it, pulls it off the wall, skates to the middle, fires a shot off the goalie's mask, bouncing around loose. Shot by Balloon, and she scores! Stars take a 3-0 lead with 10:21 remaining in the second period. AB with the garbage goal. Mom's happy she came up here, even driving in the snow, I bet. She looks a little excited. Do a close-up of Mom. There's Mom. Hi, Mom. Hey, Mom, wave to the camera. Sam. All right, puck down in the corner. Out to the point. Shot put on. Peterson deflects it with her leg. I think she was trying to get that with her glove. Now it's out to the point. Rogers player skating around with it. She'll fire a shot over the net. Bounces out to the near side off of Peterson's leg on the post. Puck picked up in the corner. Played out to the point. Rogers will throw that back in offside. And the faceoff will come to center ice. Face-off sits underneath the centers. Now Rogers will come away with it. They'll skate it into the zone. Pressure put on. That's definitely got to be a penalty on us. They did not call it. Okay, that's interesting. Emery Prosser skates out with it. Emery into the zone with it. Pressure put on there by Rogers. Puck sitting on the end wall. Emery is getting a little physical now. Centering attempt comes out to Wagner. Shot on, goalie saves. No idea how that wasn't a penalty on the Stars over here in front of our own net, as we basically hooked her and pulled her backwards, but they're letting them play. Face-off, pulled over to the near side boards, picked up by Rogers. Martinko will ride her into the boards and slow that one down. And that was a trip there by Prosser, but not called. Puck comes out to Dolly. Dolly fires a shot off of the goalie's leg and off of the post. Comes back to Dolly on the half wall. She moves it. Hagelin centers through everybody's feet. Now out to Wagner at the point. Wagner fires a shot, bounces off a body, and wide of the net. Now Rogers will play it up to the point. Wagner holds the zone. Now Rogers will step out with it. They've got numbers, but Prosser, good speed to get back to that one. Peterson plays it over to Dolly. Dolly and Prosser skating side by side. Chipped off the boards, but not out of the zone. Now Dolly will go back to get it. Dolly behind the net. Skates forward, moves that puck through Martinka's feet. And Rogers will throw it back down, and Wagner will have to go get it. Wagner's pass is deflected off a Rogers player and back into the corner. Now Dolly will pin her up. Rogers steps away with the puck. Puck thrown towards the net. Dolly plays it over the near side wall. Shot attempt. Puck bouncing around in front. Now picked up by Balloon. She'll skate it into the corner. Banks it off the boards. Hagelin chips it off the boards and down the ice. Not going to make it. Coach thought he was going to get hit in the face with that puck. Rogers moving the puck up the near side wall. Garner steps in and moves it back towards the corner. Now we'll try the other side. Davis is going to get over to that one first. She gets it to Hepner. Hepner throws a shot on glove, saved by the goalie, and she'll hold on to it. 7:41 remaining in the second period. Stars on top, 3-0. Leading in shots on goal, 18-10. Balloon, Garner, Davis out there for the Stars. Puck gets pulled into the corner by the Rogers center. Puck moving around in everybody's feet. Now it comes out, Balloon with it. Around the net. Pass out to the point to Willa. Willa winds, fires, shot on, rebound. Tried for a shot, put wide of the net. Centering attempt right to Balloon, and she can't get a clean shot. Now Rogers will come out with it. Great defensive play there by Hepner. Now she'll play it back over to Garner on this side. Garner skating with it. She's pressured, has trouble. Loses that one, but it comes back to Davis, who throws it right into Garner's back. Can't get that puck out of the zone. Now Garner gets it. She's got to skate. She's got to go. Garner gets pulled from behind. No call. We're just letting them play today, I guess. We've gotten away with a couple egregious ones, and now they have too. Hepner to get it in the corner. Now comes out to their player. She'll shovel it back in. Now it goes behind the net. Hepner moves it to the corner for Davis. Davis has it taken from her, but it goes right back to Hepner. Hepner skating with it. Passes it right out to the point, but the Rogers girl cannot handle. Comes out to the neutral zone and all the way back down to the Rogers zone. Stars get caught on a change. We got a 4-on-1 here. Rogers skating it in. They'll shoot. Tipped. And off of the crossbar, off of the back of Peterson and in the net. And Rogers scores their first of the game. Nice pass to the middle and tipped up off the crossbar and in. And the Stars' lead is cut to 3-1. 6:01 remaining in the second period. Face off, won by Prosser, but Rogers will sneak through to take that one. Akerson lifts the stick and takes that puck away. Traffic at center ice, and it comes back to Akerson. She walks into the zone, gets a shot wide of the net. Emery Prosser will play it to the wide side D. Wagner shot on, a little wide of the net. Wraparound attempt by Barton. Prosser gets it back up to Wagner. Wagner fires right into the defender. Now Dolly's shot, a soft one, comes down into the corner. Puck out to the point. Wagner has trouble with it. It bounces off of her. Barton will throw it back in deep. And Marie Prosser will chase after it. And the net has moved. 5:16 remaining in the second period. Stars on top, 3-1. Face off will come to the right side of the Rogers goaltender. Face off, sits underneath the centers. Let's move to the far wall and cleared out by Rogers. Akerson's gonna have to chase back to get to that one. Hits the brakes. Loses it. Now she'll move it over to this side to Wagner. Wagner in the corner, reverses course, plays it up the far wall, over to Barton. Barton banks it. Now Emery Prosser overskates that puck and leaves it in the neutral zone. Barton's pass across to Wagner. Shot. Goal! Snipe top shelf by Wagner. Anna, that's what happens when you hit the net. 4-1 the lead for the Stars with 4:40 remaining in the second period. Great patience by Barton to wait for that pass to Wagner as she's coming across the blue line. Sets up the Wagner snipe show. Face off, won by Rogers, played up to the near side boards, dumped in. Hepner will grab it behind the net. She tries to play it forward, now out to the neutral zone. Puck is spinning on its side. Intercepted, shot by Martinka wide of the net. Puck moved out of the neutral zone. Prosser's gonna have to get back to it. Willa finds it behind our net with it. Moves it up the far side wall. Hagelin tries to clear, but it hits the ref. And now Prosser will play it off the boards and out of the zone. Puck at center ice. Skated in by Rogers. She'll dump and offsides as they were changing. Face off, won by Prosser. Hepner moves it forward just out of the reach of Hagelin. Rogers will retreat back behind their own net, skating up the near side, passing the puck forward. Shot by Prosser wide of the net. Hagelin gets there and gets a stick in the way. Now Rogers is able to control it. They're skating across the blue line out to the neutral zone. Pass forward, steps around the defense, but then Willa Prosser skates back onto it. Puck along the far side there. Now Emery will skate up with it. Across the blue line into the zone on her forehand shot. Saved by the goalie, and she'll hold on to it. Looks like the goalie took a stinger in her glove there by catching that one. Face off, won by Balloon. Garner moves out to the point to Dolly. Dolly winds, fires right into the defender, and fires again right into the defender. Now Rogers will skate out with it. And a stick on that one by Wagner slows it down. And we've got an injured Rogers player. She took that shot from Dolly, and she's down. And the face-off will come to the neutral zone after that stoppage in play for the injured player. Good shot block twice in a row there from Rogers. That girl felt that one on the shin a little bit. Balloon wins the draw, pulls it back through Dolly's legs. Dolly will have to retreat and grab it. She tries to pass, it's intercepted. Now Balloon skates back onto it. Fancy footwork here from Balloon, moves the puck across center ice. Into the zone. Intercepted by Davis, she'll put it on net. Turnover there gave Davis a great chance right in front of the net. Barton, Prosser, Akerson, Dolly, and Wagner on the ice for the Stars. Face-off pulled back by Rogers into the near side corner. She'll try to skate it. She's pressured there. Dolly will step in, intercept that one. Now it's back into the corner. Akerson putting pressure on, steps in front of her, stops the puck. Now the puck is moved up the near side wall. Intercepted there. The puck comes out to the neutral zone, picked up by Dolly. Dumped in. Stars will give chase. Rogers is going to collect it. Play it up through the corner. Trouble with that one into Prosser's feet. Held in by Hepner. Now it's moved out into the neutral zone. Wagner will turn. Fire it up in. I thought that went to the bench, but I guess not. Big hook there from Emery. Lets that puck free up and thrown in by Akerson. Puck along the board. Balloon steps in and steals it. Balloon along the back wall. Pestered by two. Fighting off two by herself. Comes away with it. Into the corner. Gets it up to Hepner. Hepner throws one towards the middle. Now Martinka moves it out to Prosser at the point. Prosser shot right into the defender. And Rogers on a breakaway. Shot off of Peterson's helmet and over the net. That's why we pay the big money for a good helmet. Puck moved through center ice and into the Rogers zone. Now back out to the neutral zone. Puck dumped in. 45 seconds remaining in the period. Picked up by Hepner. She'll throw it off the near side boards where Rogers will take it back and move it into the corner. Now Balloon will skate it behind the net into the corner. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Hepner with it down by the corner. Ragland's pass goes past everybody. That's going to come down for icing. 20 seconds remaining in the second period. Stars on top 4-1. Face off will come to the left side of Peterson. Prosser, Davis, Garner, Hepner, and Prosser out there for the Stars. Face off, pulled back to the corner by Emery Prosser. She'll skate it out behind our net. She's pestered, gets it out of the zone. Cross center ice into the near side of the zone. Behind the net. Tries to pass it out to the point. And that'll do it for the second period. Stars on top, 4-1. Leading in shots on goal, 22-12. We'll be back for third period action. All right, back to third period action here. Stars in black moving from right to left this period. Rogers in white moving from left to right. Stars on top 4-1. Shots on goal 22 for the Stars, 12 for Rogers. Davis, Garner, Prosser, Wagner, and Dolly out there for the Stars. Davis steps through the face-off dot and gets that puck, throws it in. Played to the corner by the goalie. Puck running around the near side corner. Dolly tries to keep that one in. Now Prosser step over to help. Puck comes out to the neutral zone, and Prosser will throw it in offside. Face-off coming just outside the Rogers zone. Face-off sits underneath. The Rogers center is able to kick it forward to herself. Now they'll play it in. Puck goes along the end wall, picked up by Wagner. She'll play it forward to Garner. Garner's pass through Emery Prosser, and she's pulled down. Now Dolly looking for pass, intercepted. Now it's in her feet, she loses it. Rogers player is absolutely hauled down, and they'll call that one. And Emery Prosser will sit for a minute and a half for tripping. Stars go on the PK. We got Balloon, Barton, Dolly, and Wagner out there for the Stars. Balloon wins that draw, pulls it back to the corner, and goes and gets it herself. She's pestered, can't get a pass off from there. Rogers girl steps to the side of the net. Puck played across the crease and taken out by Balloon. She'll pass it across to Barton. Barton into the zone. She'll fire one, caught by the goalie, and she'll hold on to it for a face-off. Barton did a good job of springing herself there. Just had a little trouble controlling that puck as she skated forward. But still got a shot on goal. Face off, pulled over to the far side wall. Rogers will skate it out into the neutral zone. Stick check there by Wagner slows it down. Puck comes across the neutral zone, held up along the near side wall, and dumped back out to the neutral zone. Puck moved out, but Hepner will step in front of it, puts it on, centering, and the goalie catches it. Macy makes a shot falling down, and the goalie catches it. Stars with 41 seconds remaining on the Emery Prosser penalty. Puck comes out of the zone along the far side wall, picked up by Willa. She'll bank it off the boards. Pass intercepted by Akerson. She'll get it just inside the Rogers zone, but no further. Peyton turns it around back into the Rogers zone again. Now Rogers gets it down in the Star zone, far corner. Willa Prosser backs into that one. Pulls the puck away. Fancy move. Throws the puck out into the neutral zone. It's wobbling. The ref's waving off icing. Rogers hits the brakes. Comes back to the far side. Pass out intercepted by Hepner. She'll throw a shot. It deflects off a stick in front of the net and goes wide. Davis tries to center. Puck bouncing around in the feet in front of the net. Now it comes off of Davis's feet. She's trying to skate out of the zone. Now the puck's out in the neutral zone. Emery Prosser will get her stick on that one, but Rogers steps past her. Puck along the far side wall. Centering attempt. Turned away by Emery Prosser. Shovels that one out backhand. Now it comes out of the zone. Battle along the near side wall. Pass to the far side intercepted. Dumped into the zone, but picked up by Emery Prosser. Her pass out into the middle, picked off by Rogers. She has trouble with it at center ice. Puck held up along the near side boards. Rogers shot on. Peterson turns it away. Pass off of Rogers' defender all the way down. Balloon's the first to get to it. She's got along the end wall. Tied up there. Akerson will take it away. Now Rogers escape forward with it. Passing it up to the blue line across center ice. Into the Star zone. Wagner steps into her and then she's pulled down. Puck moved out to center ice to Akerson. She'll chip it off the boards and go for a change. Pass to the near side across the blue line, across center ice. Rogers tries for a shot from the blue line. It's wide of the net. Picked up by Dolly. Her pass goes through everybody and out to the neutral zone. That's offsides. .10:50 remaining in the third period. Stars on top, 4-1. Puck comes, played across to Hagelin. Hagelin has trouble with that pass, and Rogers gets it, and now it bounces over to Emery Prosser. Puck dumped in, offsides. Prosser will take the draw for the Stars. Sits underneath everybody, bobbles around. Rogers brings it into the zone. Now it's chipped off the boards out in the neutral zone. Puck bounces off of Wagner's shin. Hagelin overskates that. Puck brought into the zone. Rogers has got it. Back check by Prosser. Gets a stick on that one. Puck moved up the far side wall to the point. Rogers shot, deflects. Backhand attempt there is pushed into the corner by Wagner. Wagner will throw that out, but it goes right to the point. Blocker saved by Peterson. Puck goes into the corner. Pressure put on by the Stars. Centering attempt. Peterson plays it. Now it comes off Peterson's leg pad, and the net comes off. 10-12 remaining in the third period. Hi, Emmy. How are you?
Can I play with that?
You bet. Here you go. Emmy came for some kinetic sand. And back to hockey action. Face-off coming to the right side of Peterson. Garner taking her time to get over that face-off circle. Prosser will take the draw. Sits underneath the center's feet. Rogers steps through. Shot on. Peterson deflects it wide of the net. Willa with it behind the net. Puck along the near side wall. Emery steps in front of that. Centering attempt. Now it's moved up to Davis along the wall. Puck moved out in the neutral zone. Garner gets in front of that one. Gets it into the zone. Davis keeps it in the zone. Puck chipped out into the neutral zone by Rogers. Cross center ice. Pile up the Stars there as everybody's running into each other. Hepner finds it, banks it off the boards, right to the Rogers point player. Puck along the near side boards, pass out, Rogers intercepts. Centering attempt, Peterson gets across and saves that with her stick. Puck to the near side corner. Pass right out to the point again. Shot blocked by Akerson, but it comes right back to the Rogers player. Shot and goal. And Rogers cuts the lead to 4-2. .9:03 remaining in the third period. Face-off sits underneath the centers, pulled back to the Rogers defenseman. She'll play it across the other one. Now played forward into the far side of the zone. She'll skate it in. Pressured by Emery. She'll take that puck, chip it off the boards, right to the point player. Shot blocked by Akerson. She steps around her. She's all alone. Forehand shot, and she scores! And the Stars retake that 3-goal lead, 5-2. Akerson with a shot block and a breakaway goal. Face off, won by Rogers. Up the wall, Dolly pushes it forward. Across the point, cross center ice. Stick check there from Emery Prosser. Now it'll come back into our zone, picked up by Wagner. Wagner pass up to Hagelin, gets a stick on it, comes out to the neutral zone. And we got offsides coming against Rogers. Face-off will come out to center ice, as he's saying that's where the pass came from. Prosser will take the draw for the Stars. Puck sits underneath everybody. Now it's pulled back to Wagner. Rogers will get onto that though. Puck into the zone. Dolly finds it. Off the wall. Hagelin putting pressure on. Now comes back to Dolly along the wall. Now thrown in. Puck will run around the boards, but Dolly will step in there. She fires one wide of the net. Tipped by Hagelin to even go wider. Comes out to the point, held in by Wagner. She'll throw one towards the net. Tip, turned away by the goaltender. Hagelin finds it. She's pinned up in the corner. Now Rogers will throw it out to the point and pass to Wagner. She'll have to come back and get it at center ice. Skates up the far side with it and dumps it in. Garner's going to go get to that one. She throws it over into that far side corner. But Davis gets to it and gets a stick on it, slows it down. Now Rogers is able to clear the zone. Puck thrown back in. And now back out. And into the bench from center ice, so that should be a center ice face-off. Balloon will take the draw for the Stars. She's got Barton and Akerson out there with her. Prosser and Hepner behind her. Rogers steps through the face-off with that puck, but then Barton steals it. She skates forward with it into the zone. She'll fire a shot. Glove saved by the Rogers goalie. Balloon on the draw for the Stars. She pulls it to the wall, move back over Willa's stick. She'll have to retreat and get it. Willa hits the brakes, throws it forward. That's on its end. That's going to go all the way for icing. That puck came right on its side and rolled all the way down the ice. Balloon on the draw for the Stars. Puck pulled to the far side wall, now out to the point. Shot blocked by Akerson and thrown back in offsides. That is the same play Akerson just made for that breakaway a couple minutes ago. Just couldn't quite hang on to that puck as she came out of the zone. Face off, won by Balloon, comes back to Hepner. Hepner skates up the near side boards into the Rogers zone, and she'll throw that one down behind the net. Bounces off the end wall and off the back of the net. Akerson moves it back out to Hepner. Hepner turns and fires. Her shot's blocked. Puck along the near side boards. Comes back to Hepner. She chops at it and gets it to go through the middle over to the far side corner. Puck out to the point for Willa. Willa turns, fires, tipped over the net by Macy. Puck comes out to Balloon. She'll throw a shot, saved by the goalie. And she reaches out and trips the players. She's skating by the net. And Rogers will skate out with the puck, trying to move it. Macy runs into her and gets that puck slowed down. Now Rogers will throw that puck in deep. And we let Rogers get onto that puck. Centered. Backhand shot, turned away by Hepner. She'll move it forward past Barton. Picked up by Rogers. They'll turn up the far side wall. Pass nearly intercepted by Davis. Puck comes into the zone along the blue line. Picked up by Emery. She'll turn back with it. Scoots up this near side. Loses that puck in the zone. Good stick check there. Now it comes away and Emery will skate out the far side with it. Through the defender. On her forehand shot, save, put back in the corner, centering attempt, save. Back across center ice, in the near side of the zone. She'll hit the brakes, wait for help. Tries for a shot, it bounces into the corner. Puck moves up the near side wall. Puck's in front, picked up by Dolly. She'll ring it up the boards. Comes back to the Rogers player. She steps off the wall, gets it to the point. Shot, deflected. Now Emery Prosser with it. She's going to skate out with it. Emery up the near side wall. Puck played out by Rogers. Puck out to the point, held in by Hepner. Garner with it, moves it towards the net, and goalie will play it over to the corner. Picked up by Balloon. Rogers will skate out with the puck through the neutral zone across center ice. She's going to wind up and whack a shot that deflects into the corner. Picked up by Willa behind the net. She'll skate out past the Rogers player. And they're going to go for a trip. Thanks, Emmy.
You get sand when you do this.
Do I what?
You put sand on their phone.
Oh, I'm not putting sand on my phone. That would wreck the camera.
Well, I
Puck comes out to the point. All right, get down, get down. We can't see. We can't see. Get down. Puck out to the point for Willa. Willa's shot bounces into the goalie's glove. Face off, pulled back by Balloon. She steps away with it. Puck into the near side corner. Akerson tries to throw it in on net, but it stops there in front of her. Rogers across center ice. Got one sprung. Centering attempt gets deflected and turned back by Barton. Barton skating up the ice with it across center ice into the zone. Hits the brakes. Tries the center. Her pass is deflected. Akerson gets a stick on it to keep it in the zone. Now she'll turn fire. Glove saved by the goalie. 43 seconds remaining on the power play for the Stars. 2:41 remaining in the third period. Face-off coming the far face-off dot. Prosser on the draw for the Stars. She'll pull it back to the point for Willa. Willa passes across to Hepner. Hepner will skate it in, find a shot, and is bouncing loose. And in. That's a goal. Garbage goal for Finley Davis. Oh, maybe Willa got it? I don't know. 1-2, 2-1. Yeah, we scored. Goalie dropped the rebound, they put it in. And that'll put the Stars up 6-2 here in the third period with 2.5 minutes remaining. Puck skated across center ice by Rogers. They'll dump it into the far side corner. Puck pinned up in the corner. Centering attempt. Peterson gets a stick on that one to turn it away. Bouncing under feet. Peterson can't find it, but we got a whistle. Quick whistle from the ref. And the net came off anyway.
Pretty quick whistle now.
Face-off sits underneath the center, pulled to the near side wall. Out to the point. Shot fired. Peterson gets a glove on that one, turns it away. Rogers trying to center that puck. It's bouncing in the corner. Emery Prosser steps in front of that pass. So skate past that girl. Up the far side, past the Haglund off of her stick in this neutral zone. Dumped down, picked up by Hepner. She'll skate it forward into the neutral zone. Pass across, right to Balloon on the far side. She tries a backhand centering attempt. Bounces back to Haglund. And comes back to Haglund again on the far side. Picked up by Rogers in the far corner. Pressure put on by Balloon. Slows her down. She'll leave that there for her friend. Now they'll skate up that far side wall. And Garner will step in front of that pass and put it back in. Hepner steps in front. Shot off of the shin pads and into the corner. 1 minute remaining in the third period. Puck comes out past Hepner, and Wagner will throw it in offside. 49 seconds remaining in the third period. Here, Stars leading 6-2. Shots on goal, 36 for the Stars, 19 for Rogers. Elizabeth Balloon wins the drawback. Dolly throws it in. Stars will give chase. Rogers skating out of the zone with it. Puck pinned up along the far side boards. Moved out of the zone to Akerson. Akerson skating with it. Into the zone. Pulls it back. Takes a shot. It goes wide of the net. 20 seconds remaining in the period. Puck dangerously bounces off the side of the net. Now it comes out and Rogers will move it out to the neutral zone. Emery Prosser skates onto that one. Puck behind the net. Wagner with it. Loses it there. Shot blocked by Dolly to end the game. Stars finish the game with a 6-2 victory over Rogers. Final shots on goal, 36-20. We'll be back tomorrow morning as the Stars take on Elk River.